The Blues just did enough. I wouldn't have wanted too much more time on the clock there, Tim. That was nervous moments for Blues fans.
Yeah, they would have learned a bit about themselves tonight, I reckon, Carlton.
Yeah.
Such hot favourites to win the game. No one was imagining that the Bombers could win it, and yet they very nearly did.
And it shows what pressure and intent can do, really, when you think about it. The Blues for the first half just didn't look like mentally that they were ready for this fight that Essendon were going to bring. And Essendon, to their credit, and they've just had a changeover in coach as well, they came with the pressure and intent that you need to play at AFL footy and showed Carlton exactly what's needed. And a good learning lesson, but you take the 4 points and run away from these games sometimes when you haven't played your best footy, you haven't put up your best performance, but you just do enough to win the game of footy.
Okay, they were up by 23 points at one stage, the Bombers. That was at the 13-minute mark of the second quarter. And they were looking pretty good, weren't they?
Yeah, I think Essendon will be disappointed with that one. You could see after the game, they were a few of the players were on the ground, smacking the ground. So I think it's one of those games that they probably could have won. They were playing really, really good footy, but I think that pressure of Carlton really just made them turn the ball over and make silly mistakes. And then I think also, too, there's a few goals and a few inside 50s that they probably could have capitalised on that would have really helped at the back end of the game.
You just need a win, don't you, from a Bombers' point of view? Like we talked about Carlton, they're now, 4 in a row. But they've got the interim coach and they want that pressure to be released. And they played a lot better tonight, but they just after that elusive victory.
Yeah, another hot word in these situations. They need that scoreboard nourishment or the win-loss nourishment. They looked much better tonight. And having... you look at last week when Solomon took over, and I heard him saying at a couple of press conferences that it's hard to do too much in 1 week. You're trying to emotionally stabilise the group. You can't shift the game plan too much, whereas they've had a longer week off the back of it. And arguably, I saw a much different Essendon team tonight than what we've seen in previous weeks and weeks prior to that. They came with a level of intent. They played some bigger bodies around the ball, which worked for their contested possession and clearance and territory game. And they spread the ground really, really well. Their uncontested marking game looked much better tonight. So positive signs for the Dons fans after a pretty miserable start to the year.
The Ben McKay experiment now was an experiment. Everyone was a bit surprised last week when it happened. Well, he started forward again. Do you think it's more than just... Has it got something in it, do you think?
No, I think so. Early in the game, he provided a contest really, really well, and then he started to get the looks off the back of it. He got 4 shots on goal. He led well. He looked good. He gets to have a run around in the ruck, which is, for both Mackays, this seems to be a good little thing. He can run around, have a little role in there too. But yeah, he looks good. It's providing a contest, and next to Nate Caddy, you need someone that's a bit bigger of a body that's going to be able to help provide that contest, because you can't leave it to such a young player to be doing that the whole game. And I don't mind it. I think it's been a nice change up for him and something different different look for the club.
Two brothers went at it too at one stage, didn't they?
Very, very cool. Little tussle in there at one point, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's more than once.
No, I quite like him forward too, particularly with Peter Wright being out. It just helps support Nate Caddy.
Yeah, so I think I'll persist with it. There's no doubt about that. And I also like the game. I know that he sort of faded out a little bit. Al Akhtar kicked 2 goals, but he looked lively, didn't he? And those small forwards, they're such an important part of the modern game, aren't they? The pressure forwards, but then they've got to take their opportunity as well.
Yeah, there's probably 2 types of small forwards these days. There's the guys that are up the field, and then they run, they up and back, and defensive pressure, and they help in between the arcs. And then there's the small goal-kicking pressure forwards, and he's definitely that. And he had a great first half of the game, and often when you're a young player, this kind of happens. When you've got your legs underneath you and you've got your speed in your game and you're able to do that, you can play some good periods, but equally you're going to go missing at different stages as well when the team's not playing as well, the ball's not going in there as fluidly as it was earlier in the game. But a lot to like on his end. He's very lively. He's got great speed and chase pressure, which is what you love when internally at footy clubs. That's the stuff that's really, really valued.
So got a bit of a fright tonight, Tim, but they've got some winnable ones coming up. GWS is their next game at NG Stadium, and then they play the West Coast Eagles at Marvel. This is Carlton we're talking about. And then they take on Richmond here at the MCG.
Yeah, GWS would be tough, and they could get a dose of reality up there. They look as though they're really finding their way now, I reckon.
It's a month's a long time in football, isn't it? You looked at that GWS game versus Carlton, you were thinking, Salad was about a month ago, and now both of them are looking quite in form. So could be a great game of football.
Just on the Bombers and the reaction that you saw from a couple of players of extreme disappointment, which is not unexpected, but the way you've picked it apart, they planned for this really well, and basically their plans all worked, and they gave themselves a real winning chance and just couldn't quite get it done. And even at the end, it looked as though Carlton might get away and win by 4 or 5 goals, but they were plugging away, and another 30 seconds and who knows.
Yeah, and I've listened to Nate Caddy's comments throughout the year. That it seems like their young core is very competitive and wants to take this football club forward, and you can see the pride in their performance, and they've been hurting for some of the results this year. But to get so close under a new coach, and then, as you said, Tim, there's one thing of having a plan and coaching the plan. It's another thing to go out and execute. And they did that for large parts of tonight's game. They did that at a really high level, and they should be disappointed they didn't come away with the win with where they put themselves throughout this game. But equally on the other side, the Blues to be able to try to shift their game around to be able to come back and win this game of football is really, really well done.
Just the other thing I wanted to talk about, and we didn't have time to elaborate too much because all the action was happening, and this is the 30-second rule where Harry McKay takes a mark 55, 60 metres out from goal and says he's going to take a shot, then takes his full 30. Should we have a rule where you only get your full 30 if you're, inside the 50? Like, there was no way. He just exploited the rule, didn't he, really?
Yeah, he did. And then that's as a player, you know that you can try and do that, and these are some of the things that comes into scenario training. If you're a key forward and you take a mark anywhere near the 50, you point to the goals, you get 30 seconds. That's 30 seconds off the clock. Most of the time, you're never having a shot on the goal. Because
just being told by my producer, 41 seconds he took. So by the time he took it, he informed the umpire who was going to take the shot. Then they started the clock at 30. 11 seconds had already elapsed while he sort of informed, this is what I'm going to do, and put them out. And then they started the 30. So 41 seconds was sucked off the clock.
Yeah, I don't know how you fix it. It's that what happens with the AFL is you bring in rules, and then the clubs are built to exploit them. So it's very smart play from Harry. Exactly what you're supposed to do. You're in a tight game, 2 minutes to go. Get a mark near the 50-metre arc. Say I'm having a shot on goal. Put it in a non-dangerous spot for a rebound on the game. That's exactly what you need to do in that moment, which is great thinking by Harry.
A simple way would be, it mightn't be the best way, but unless a player demonstrates that he's clearly having a shot in the way in which he kicks the ball, the umpire blows the whistle, brings it back, and you have a ball up.
Free kick.
Where the kick was taken, or a free kick the other way. It's cynical, and everyone does it because it's bad law, and bad laws create these situations. This was done when Matthew Lloyd and co were throwing grass into the air and taking too long and soaking up time, and so you had that possibility being exploited. So they brought this in, but it doesn't get rid of all the possibilities, and this is a really bad one, I think.
Yeah. The routine, you if you're having a shot at goal, you do have time, different to around the ground when you take your kick, because you've got a routine, you've got to go back and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, time to get down to the Carlton rooms. Jackie Reid is down there alongside Sam Walsh.
Well, thanks so much for your time, Sam. Congrats on the win. Gee, it was hard fought, it was physical, your left shoulder's just holding on there. Can you give us an update on what was the last couple of minutes like?
Yeah, that was a slog, as you said. I think their ability to move the ball early probably gassed us, but I thought our fight back in the second half and ability to stand up was great. A lot of boys stood up with big moments, and that last quarter, just to bring it home, has sort of been really positive the past month, and probably the way our year started with our second half. So it's great to see that turn around, and nice to head into the bye with a win.
Absolutely. I was going to say, the last month of footy, did that give you some confidence that you knew you could close out this game? Because you have admitted in the past that there were some doubts to closing out games earlier in the year. Yeah,
it's just all about the controllables for us. So probably the midfield's in a position that I always get the messages in. And to be honest, they were probably a bit harder at the ball than us in the first half. And I thought we really tried to turn that around. And I think our ability for guys like George and Cripper to get the ball going forward and give our forwards some good looks. And I thought our back stood up so well all night, and when you got the resilience like that, you're in any game.
Walper, it's Doc, mate. What was said at half-time is obviously you just said about Essendon outstanding in the contest in the first half and the pressure they brought, but significant shift in tackle pressure and the clearance work. What was said by Fraser or other coaches at half-time?
Yeah, g'day, Doc. I think the biggest thing for us was probably in and around the ball. We had to reset quicker at stoppages, and like I said, I think they tried to spread us and run us hard early, so it makes it a bit hard to connect, and I think we probably lost the connection and energy within our group, which has been the cornerstone of us the past month and a bit. So to be able to get that back going, celebrate hard, and I think we got that pressure back up and the crowd got in behind us, and it's amazing the looks you get off the back of that.
I just want to ask on Harry Dean. He's obviously Rising Star nomination, but I thought he was absolutely outstanding tonight. What's been the big marker of his game and why he's had such an impact on the group?
Oh, he's been amazing. I think he's just got such a calm head on his shoulders, and then when he gets out on game day, he's got that grit. You can see that he hates losing, but I think his reach and his range to be able to get to the balls was a standout, and his ability to play on forwards that are pretty challenging for a lot of defenders like Docherty and then Caddy tonight. The versatility of the run, but also the contest. So, there's no doubt if he keeps at it with his work rate, he's going to have a great career.
Sam, those of us who sit and watch from the other side of the fence read all manner of things into games, and I'm just wondering about the psychology, because I think a lot of people would be thinking that it was a very different kettle of fish for Carlton tonight, coming here expected to win after weeks of being on the ropes.
Yep.
Does that change the mindset, and do you have to adjust, and might that have contributed to a first half that wasn't quite what you would have expected?
Oh, I thought the coaches set up the week really well in terms of where our mindset needs to be, and I think the best thing for our group, I would say the whole year, but even Fraser's trying to focus on getting better every day. So out of the Geelong game, even though it was a great win, we thought we still had areas to work on. Early in the first quarter, I thought probably Essendon gave us a few different looks, spread the ground really hard. I thought they got a lot of numbers back and we didn't quite squeeze up, and in AFL footy, if you give teams time and space, they'll pick through you and make you look like you're probably sitting off a bit defensively. So thought we tried to adjust there, and our ability to hold on and probably stay within that 2-goal margin really paid us back late.
Just talking about your teammates again, Warp, because I know you love talking about him. Harry McKay, how important has he been over this last month? I know, again, tonight, outstanding in his role, but just talk about the importance of him going in the ruck and being around the ball and standing up as a leader as the footy club.
Yeah, he's been so good, Doc. It's I think it's a really good look for Harry when he plays second ruck, because it gets him in around the ball, and I think his ability to follow up in there has been great for a second ruck, and it's given us a different look. And I think some of his courageous moments coming across hard to crash a few packs and that as well doesn't go unnoticed. So you can never question his preparation, and I think he's added an edge to his game.
And Sam, what's the plan for the bye, mate? Are you getting away, doing something?
Yeah, I'm actually heading up to Sydney, which would be nice, with the girlfriend, and I've got a few mates that live up there as well, so hopefully a few nice dinners and a few beach walks will be good.
Before we go, actually, what is the go with the shoulder? Are you going to go get scans, or you know what it is?
Yeah, I know what it is, and just being able to manage it. I think the hardest thing was tonight, probably first bounce, I tripped over and fell straight on it, so that tested it out. But I think the bye's come at a good time for it. It's only minor, but sometimes the tackles just feel like it gives it a bit of a stinger, so it's probably hence the grimace on the face a few times, but always feels better after a win.
And you mentioned the coach. We've got to follow that up. He seems to be going all right, although he said his hat's not in the ring. Do you think as time goes on he might be forced to reconsider?
Fraser's, I think he's been pretty clear on that, but my feedback on, or praise for Fraser is just like how good of a head he's got on his shoulders. And I think that flows through the group. He's a great relationships guy. He doesn't make things bigger than they need to be, and I think he's really nailed it, being at us about our fundamentals, which you can play any system in today's footy, but the ability to execute is sort of top-notch, and that's something that he's been driving. And
he knows a bit about the pressure of being a number one draft pick.
Yeah, he does, actually. He doesn't bring that up too much, but I think he goes under the radar. Probably the boys were a bit surprised with that early this year, so there's a few of us around at the Blues, but hopefully not many more to come in the future years.
Hey, Sam, well done tonight, mate. Enjoy the break, and thanks for having a chat.
Thanks, guys.
Sam Walsh, the Carlton star down there, with Jackie Reid in the rooms, talking about a big rap for Josh Fraser there, a relationships guy. That's what he said.
Yeah,
and that seems to be the way now, isn't it? Like, all about relationships with coaches.
What that says to me is Josh Fraser's a very, very good coach. No, yeah, I'm not surprised. He actually coached me when I was, he was our VFL coach when I first got to the Blues many, many years ago. And huge raps on him. And as I said before we started the whole program, I think he'll be an outstanding senior coach. It's just a matter of when he thinks he's ready, and who knows what will happen, what the decisions or the conversations will happen behind the scenes at the Blues if the Blues keep winning and keep looking good.